This is the story that happened to me when I was in my early 20s. I used to live in Belgium at the time, and I had seen this week training in the south of France in the mountain to learn to do paragliding. And I thought, this looks great. I signed up. I went. I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even my nature to do like crazy things, but it just called to me and I was on my way. So we get there with the whole group and we learn through the week about clouds and the winds and how we're going to receive instructions about turning left and right and receiving instructions. Then we went to practice in the plains, in the mountains. So we would put the paragliding down and then practice running. It would lift up. We would, like lift for a little bit, but we were not really jumping yet. So it would land. And so we went that for a while. And that week, the weather was not good. So we only ended up going to do one real flight at the very end of the week. So that day, we're all with our little backpack, with our paragliding on our back, and we have a little lunch, we review everything, we practice again, and we are nearly ready to go. So one at a time, we are jumping off the cliff, literally. So the way it works is we have one instructor at the top, one instructor at the bottom, each with a walkie-talkie, and each giving instruction to the person flying solo, which was what I was about to do, through headsets. So basically, when you take off, you're on your own, but you get the guidance of what to do. So it's my turn. My heart is beating, but I'm ready to go. I'm excited too. So I run. My sail is lifting. I'm lifting, and whew, I'm flying. Oh my goodness. I just couldn't believe how beautiful it was. It was amazing. So I'm directly in connection with nature, the sky. There is no noise. It's just so beautiful. And I receive instructions. Turn now. So I follow the instructions and I'm up there in the sky literally for probably 10-15 minutes, the way to come down from the mountain all the way back down, doing some shapes to manage the altitude going down. And so I'm close to landing. I'm preparing for landing. They taught us to do that too. So I'm ready to land. I have my thing. I'm getting ready. I land. Everything is great. I did it. I get congratulations. And I'm like, wow, that was really amazing. Then right after that, the instructor starts running and shouting, and I realized the woman who was right after me have just landed, and he's shouting at her in French, but basically said, what was happening? What were you thinking? Why were you not doing anything I was telling you to do? And she's like a little taken back, and she's like, well, my headset was not working, so I did the best I could by following Fabienne as best as I could, because there was nothing else. I didn't know what else to do. So he comes down and, we congratulate her, because turns out what she did was truly amazing. She really did it on her own without even directions. But what started to happen to me is that I had come from this huge extension and I was just so happy and so carefree in the sky. And then something like that happened and I'm like, ooh, I didn't even realize that could be happening. Oh, I was prepared to do what we practiced to do and knowing I would receive instruction, and I felt confident with that. But what if it was me who my headset was not working? What would I have done then? And when this story popped in my awareness today as something that I could use to share this, I realized there is something for me to really look at, because it's not the first time or only time that has happened in my life that, I would feel so resonance with something and go full out and and express or do something like signing up for this course, and then suddenly realize like, oh, I didn't think about this. Or sometimes might be like fears or criticism from the outside, and then progressively like retracting down. So I don't know for you. I would really be interested to know if some of that might happen to you too, because usually I hear people talk about courage, but like, well, you might be afraid at first, but then, you get over your fear and you do it and you're on the other side. Well, in my experience, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes I feel so aligned with something that I'll go for it. And then the fear or the caution or all the awareness I hadn't thought about might come afterwards. So I'm just curious if any of you have experienced that or are experiencing that sometime. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's fly.